If you take advantage of every opportunity, if you take advantage of every opportunity, my baby girl said to me, Daddy, I want to go to Harvard. Never, can I be honest with you guys, because I ain't no scholar. I dropped out of high school. I didn't want to tell my baby girl this, but I didn't even know where Harvard was. I thought it was like in New York or something, like not too far from Manhattan or something like that, because all the lights, it had to be around the corner, right? I'm just going to keep it 100. That's what I was thinking, like it's right around the corner. Manhattan, the lights, and then it's Harvard. You just go about a mile down. you can get straight to Harvard from right there, right? I didn't know where Harvard was. Found out Harvard was in Boston. A year or so later, my daughter told me she wanted to go to Harvard. A year later, this is what I'm saying, take advantage of opportunity, because if you do, doors are going to open up for you. My baby girl said she wanted to go to Harvard. A year later, I got a call from Harvard University asking me to come speak. Okay, because I told you she got a different mentality. My daughter goes to every class. My wife, now, don't say this, y'all make sure, anybody tweeting, don't say this out loud. My wife's spoiled, all right? Don't say that on Twitter, okay? I could get in trouble for this, but she's an only child, right? So her mom spoiled her. So she's trying to spoil my daughter. She's trying to like mess her up too. And I'm trying to get my daughter ready for marriage. So some brother gonna be messed up. Like if you go that route, my man gonna be messed up. So I'm trying to work with my daughter. So my wife calls my daughter and tells her, well, on your birthday, March 6th, why don't we do this? Why don't you just don't go to class and we can go to Chicago, Detroit, Novi, Michigan, and we can just go shopping the whole day, right? So my wife, I'm like, are you supposed to be like co-signing skipping? You know what I'm saying? Like, as a parent, can you do that? Like, we gonna skip school today. Like, what, you gonna write that out and send that to the teachers? Like, how does that work? So she told my daughter, like, all right, we're gonna go shopping. Where you wanna go? And my daughter said, okay, Mom, great idea, but why don't we do this? Why don't we do a half a day? I go to school for a half a day, then you pick me up at lunch, and then we'll go. So I'm in Bermuda. My wife called me. I'm like, you're not supposed to be calling me. I'm in Bermuda. That's a long distance call, like for real, for real. This is a long distance call. Like I ain't talking about Detroit, Cincinnati, like this long distance. It's like $2 and something a minute. I don't have that kind of plan, right? She think I'm traveling all over the world. I got this sweet plan. I do not. I'm like on the Sprint, boy, like everybody else. One flat rate for everything, right? So she calls me like, you ain't gonna believe this. I said, what happened? I took off work, I scheduled my time, I took off work, I go to get your daughter at lunch, and I call and she tells me when I get to the school, just come pick her up at the end of the day. Remember what I told you, it's a different mindset. Tell my son you want him off school on his birthday. Son, Tuesday's your birthday. He gonna say, Dad, why don't we do this? Let's just start Monday, right? We can do this every weekend. You get your friends, I get my friend. We could do this every weekend, Dad. Right? So my daughter like, I ain't doing it. So I knew it was going to be hard to get my daughter to get out of school, but I kind of told her, this is Harvard. We can make it into a field trip. She like, okay, call my teacher. So we did the whole night. Listen to what I'm saying. My daughter said, I want to go to Harvard, and Harvard came to her. So we get to Harvard. I should have known something was wrong, because when we got there, I didn't know the name of the hotel. Like they had they sent me my stuff through my agent, and they gave me the hotel, and I never heard of it before. Like I know hotels, right? The Best Western, I know hotels. Motel 6, they keep the light on. This wasn't nothing like that. I'm like, what kind of star is this? Like, I'm looking for like the 2.5 boy with the boiled egg and the English muffin, you know what I'm saying? The continental breakfast. I know about fancy hotels, right? So I'm like, I can't even say this hotel. So we get to the hotel, I'm looking around like, ooh, that's why I ain't know how to say this hotel. I get in the room, it's like $1,000 a night kind of hotel. I'm like, wow. We get to Harvard, and why wouldn't you know it? We speak at the law school, and she wants to do entertainment law. We at the law school. I told her, be careful, boo. Be careful. Right, that's Barack step. Right, this is where Barack Obama was, right here, baby. You be careful where you walk. Now, Michelle walked right here. This might have been the same step Michelle was in right here. Be careful. Right? And so then after we finished doing our thing in the law school and, we saw the campus a little bit, I took my baby girl to the bookstore and I was like, go get you a sweater. We're talking about opportunity. She in the 5th grade. The difference between her and my son is my son going to school because that's what you're supposed to do. When my daughter goes to school, she ain't doing middle school. She ain't doing high school. She getting ready for Harvard. Same kids, same opportunity. One is going with a mindset that I'm going to Harvard. Every class assignment don't got nothing to do with this assignment. It's getting me ready for Harvard. My son don't know where he want to go, so he just kind of show up like, what we going to be doing today? You know, you know how they do the Final Four? You know, the road to the Final Four. My son called me once like, Dad, Michigan State is playing at 1:30 and I'm trying to not go to class today. I said, you're just going to miss school to watch the game? I promise you we're not going to be doing anything in class today. I'm like, did you do like the syllabus? Like, are you sure about that? Like, ain't nothing going on today? Absolutely nothing. Can I go home and watch the game? My daughter like, I'm going to Harvard.